What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again. And of course, as always on a Tuesday, we are partnered by 5 Yards. Get yourself on the website. Get an account set up now. Make sure you do, because it's just really fun and interactive. And also, it's really useful because you can just go and check players out. So, a player that Leicester looks like they're going to sign, although we have been linked with him several times over the last 2 days, is Soumaire. A player who French plays centre midfield, 22 years old, got the ability to beat a man, defend. He's got legs, he's got an engine, he can carry a ball, he can score goals. He's just a good player. Again, very young, very talented. They've got the price here of 27 million. Again, he's the sort of player that Everton need. He's sort of like a Garner replacement. Almost. He's certainly a player I've got no problem, Everton being after and Everton potentially signing, not by any stretch of anyone's imagination. So I'm certainly up for that. This season, as you can see, his value has increased quite a lot. And his stats speak for themselves. He's played in League. He's obviously played in the Champions League as well. So he's a very good player that Everton have been linked with. Another player that Everton have recently linked with, and for me, I don't want him, is Aaron Ramsey, who hasn't been added to the file yet. Aaron Ramsey, we all know from his days at Arsenal, a player that just doesn't, in my opinion, I don't see the point of signing players like Ramsey. I don't understand the point of signing players like Ramsey, because they've gone and they've achieved what they may want to achieve. They're a little bit older, a little bit longer in the tooth. Are they going to come to Everton and have the desire to go and take Everton to the next level? Are they going to have that hunger, that grit, that determination? And I just question it with some of the players we've been linked with. We've obviously been linked with Gareth Bale as well. We touched on Gareth Bale last week. For me, I just can't see it. And I don't see the point. I don't see any reason for Everton to go for these players that, yes, are big established names in Europe. Fair enough. I just don't get it. I don't see a point, and they're not players that I really want to sign, to be honest. If you look through some of the names on this list here, they're either playing at that top level or they're young players with something to prove. You've got Felix, you've got Pedro. You go back up and you've got Foden. You've got Serge Gnabry, who obviously couldn't do it at Arsenal, had something to prove. Couldn't do it at West Brom. Again, had something to prove. Went to Bayern Munich and he's now a starter every week. A phenomenal player. And just having a look at Serge Gnabry, just for the sake of it, look at his value, £76 million. It's increased by £6 million this year. It's gone up. That you'd make money based on 5 yards equipment. You'd make money on Serge Gnabry. So it's sort of a no-brainer. And there's loads of players that fit into that bill. I'm not saying Everton are going to go and sign Serge Gnabry, but I'm saying I want to see us go for young talent, players who are phenomenal, players who have got that hunger and that determination to be the next Ronaldo, the next Messi. Do I think Everton ordinarily are going to sign these players? No, I don't. But if we can identify these young players early enough, then maybe we've got a chance. Maybe we can hold on to them for a couple of years. Lukaku wasn't cutting it at Chelsea, went to West Brom on loan, had very good season. Everton approached him. Everton are a bigger club than West Brom. No disrespect to West Brom. He signed, joined us. He loved the story. He loved the ambition of Everton. And he was great for 3 years. So, we really need to, in my opinion, get this summer right. In my opinion. I think it's really important that we get it right, because if we don't, it could be a mess. Another player that Everton have been linked with is Lautaro Martinez. Inter Milan have literally just won the league. He's young, he's Argentinian, he's quick, he's got quality, he scores goals. His price, look at his price. His price is shot up from last year. Again, if you'd have put money on that, massive investment. And look, this is a world-class player. This is the sort of player that I love being linked with. Do I think Everton will sign him? No, I don't. But I like being linked with these players because these are the players that have got a point to prove. These are the players that are just on the cusp of being world-class players. And if Everton can just use Carlo Ancelotti a little bit, use his contacts, use his name, his brand to potentially touch base with some of these players who are of that ilk, that's phenomenal. That's a great thing for Everton. So for me, I'm all over that. That's the sort of stuff I want. That's the sort of players I want Everton to be going after. And there's loads of players like that. You know, Baku, right back, aggressive, pacey, really good player. We've been linked with him a few times. I know Baz on Toffee TV's raved about him. He's a top player. He's a top player, young, potential talent. Exactly how I see Nkunku. You know, he's got real ability. They're the sort of players that I love Everton being linked with. These gems that can really take Everton forward because they've got that grit and that determination. You know, not the players that we get linked with on a daily basis. Not the Barcelona rejects and the Bayern Munich rejects. No, I don't want any of them. Another player I want to touch on, who's obviously in a bit of a bidding war for PSG and Juventus, is Moise Kean. Moise Kean has had a great season for PSG. You know, 12 goals. He scored in the Champions League a few times. His value has shot up again as well. And he's a player that ordinarily, that's the sort of player I'd want to sign. You know, who's got that grit, that determination to be someone. And I kind of felt that he didn't use Everton to his advantage last season. And what he's done subsequently is he's gone on loan to a team that got to the semi-finals of the Champions League. He's played really well, and he's outgrew where Everton are right now. However, Everton hold all of the cards because he's going to want Champions League football. He's going to want to play with Neymar or play with Ronaldo at Juventus. He's going to want all of that. And Everton, no disrespect to us right now, can't offer that. It's not like we have got Neymar or we've got Ronaldo or we're going to be playing Champions League football. So, you know, through that ambition, it can go two ways. And I just think with Moise Kean, again, you can see his rating, you can see his work rate, his speed, his dynamic, his attribute. You can see all of that off the rating on 5 yards. He's a fantastic talent, but maybe he just doesn't fit for Everton. Maybe he just doesn't. You know, Calvert-Lewin's got 16 league goals this season, no assists, which I think is the highest without any penalties in the league. Obviously, we potentially have an issue with Richarlison, although I hope not. You know, I love Richie, so I'd hope that he stays and he becomes happier if he's not happy. But this is what I mean. I want young, hungry players at Everton. I do not want Everton to go and sign players who have been there, done it, got the T-shirt, achieved everything they want to achieve. And as a result, they're not going to have that fight, that hunger for Everton Football Club. It doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make any sense. You know, Reina, another player that Everton were linked with heavily. He was young, ambitious, something to prove. He doesn't sign for Everton. You know, he didn't come into Everton. You got Fabio Silva, my opinion, massively overrated. But again, he's come into the Premier League to try and prove something. And although he isn't quite there yet, maybe in a couple of years he'll be there. And you can go through the list just looking at these players who are young, hungry, wanting to be someone. You know, Camavinga, there's no way he's going to be at Rennes next season. You've got, he's not going to be at Leipzig. You've got players like Anolo. I'd be surprised if he's at Roma. You've got top players all over the globe who are young, aggressive, and want to do well in their career. And they're the sort of players that, in my opinion, Everton have got to be targeting. Just my opinion. He's a player. Marcel Sabitzer, he's a player. He's a bit older, 27 years old, but he's a top player. He's really rating. So, yeah, guys, look, I'm leaving it there for the Talking Transfers video because there isn't a huge amount going on. Everton have also been linked with Juventus goalkeeper and former Arsenal goalkeeper Szczesny, who 100 grand a week for number 2. I just don't see the point. I just don't see the point. You know, especially when Everton maybe a couple of years ago could have got a Jack Butland or a Ben Foster. I'd happily take either of those as a number 2, for example. And we're being linked with Szczesny, who, look, is a good goalkeeper. But I don't want to spend so much money on a number 2. You know, I don't want to spend so much in wages when we're trying to trim down how much we're spending. You know, this is a massive summer, not just for ins, but for also outs. And for a player who, again, has been there and done it, played in the Premier League, played in the Champions League, what's he going to bring to Everton that he hasn't already done? What's he going to be hungry to achieve? Nothing. So, yeah, I just don't see the point. So, guys, anyway, I am leaving it there. Thank you ever so much for watching. As always, as I say, it's a short video. We'll be back on Friday for Talking Transfers again. Everton obviously play Aston Villa on Thursday, and a match preview will be out tomorrow. Guys, I shall see you soon. Have a glorious evening, and peace.